What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRT After Dark. I hope your week was swell. Today, I'm going to be giving you some advice. I'm going to try my absolute hardest to hit all of them. And if I can't get to all of them, I will do a part 2. We have another one here that says, any sort of advice for pre-T trans teens who perhaps need passing tips without that annoying cut your hair and don't take care of yourself. I mean, I would not go the route of not taking care of yourself, at least for trans men, I guess, because there's this whole thing that like men don't take care of themselves, but those men are gross and you don't want to be a gross boy, okay? I understand the appeal sometimes of like the gender euphoria that comes from being gross sometimes, but please don't go that route. Nobody wants to hang out with someone who stinks, okay? Take showers. Definitely take care of yourself. What helped me pass the most? Honestly, this is a really hard one to give advice on because everybody is different. Everybody's got different bodies, different voices. Everybody's hair is different. And unfortunately, these are the things that go into passing, and I hate it. So I'm going to try to answer this question, but my biggest advice when it comes to passing, when you're a teen, I know that people don't want to hear this, but keep an open mind about passing. And really think about how much it really matters to you at the end of the day. I know it matters a lot. It was the only thing that mattered to me for a very long time. But I want you to sit there and I want you to realize that passing is not what it means to be trans. And I know that it hurts when you don't pass. I know it hurts every time you hear she, her, or he, him. It's like a knife in the gut. But I want you to have faith in your future that you will pass one day. You will get on those hormones. And all of this will just be a hard time you went through when you were younger. So even though it's really, 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 really hard, try not to take it so seriously. Maybe use it as a chance to experiment with your gender a bit. You know what I mean? I can't really speak on the trans feminine experience, and I wish that I could. But for trans masculine people, I guess baggy clothes really, really helped me. The feeling of tight clothing just made me want to die. Made me want to absolutely die. Baggy clothing all the way. Be a gentleman. I know a lot of people think, oh, boys are pieces of garbage. I should act like a piece of garbage, but don't do that because you will lose respect of everyone. And people are more likely to respect you and understand your gender when you are a good person, even though that shouldn't matter at the end of the day. Your pronouns and gender should not be held as a weapon against you in any sense. But if you are a gentleman and you are nice, I have a lot of faith that a good amount of people out there would be like, that's a nice young man. Even if deep down they don't see you as one, I think that could help. I really do. I think it could help. Be a gentleman, because at the end of the day, that will make you feel gender euphoric. And the more gender euphoric you feel, the more you'll carry yourself as the gender you want to be. It kind of goes to like, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, if you don't see yourself as who you want to be, how is anybody else supposed to? And that might be a controversial take, but confidence is key in any aspect of life. You know what I mean? Like, carry yourself like you want to carry yourself. Carry yourself like a man, or carry yourself like a woman, or carry yourself as a non-binary person, and that confidence will pour out of you, and I think that helps tremendously with how people see you. It is real hard to be confident as a young trans person, but baby, fake it till you make it. Because at the end of the day, hey, nobody's confident. Everybody's insecure and hates themselves. But I'm telling you, fake it till you make it. I do it every week. I do it every week right here. And it works, okay? People love confidence. And no matter how you feel about yourself, just have the confidence, because people will respect you for it and they will see you for who you truly are. And I can sit here and say things like wear baggy clothing, or get a certain haircut, or shave your face, or don't shave your face, but you already know all those things and do all those things. If it makes you feel good, do all of those things. I do have a question here about how to talk to your doctor about being trans. This one kind of falls into the whole coming out thing, just coming out to your doctor, you know. It's what I said before about coming out. Just simply say, hey, I'm trans. And you know, when it comes to a doctor, if they aren't taking it well, if they give you any sort of up advice on how to not be trans, you walk out. and you don't go back and you find a doctor who is actually smart, who is actually smart and willing to help you, because that's not a family member. You really don't owe anything to them. So you walk out and you find a new doctor. If you're having trouble just saying the words, again, with a doctor, if you don't want to just say, hey, I'm transgender, my pronouns are he, him, if you don't want to actually say that, I would just be like, I'm looking into hormone replacement therapy. It's something that I see in my future. What can you tell me about it? If they seem like they know absolutely nothing, walk out because a doctor should know those things. And if they're nice and they're accepting and an ally and want to help you, then you ask whatever question you want to ask, because that is supposed to be a safe space. And if it's not a safe space, you walk out. If you're not comfortable walking out, you nod your head, say, okay, yeah, understood, and then never go back. Because any doctor should be able to help you, no matter what. I mean, your primary care physician, if you say, I'm thinking about hormone replacement therapy one day for myself, is there anything you could do to help me? Any doctor should be able to help you. Even if they can't themselves, they should be able to point you in the direction. And if they can't, they are not a doctor for a trans person. And I'm sure they'll have questions, but most doctors, especially if you are younger, they'll probably say, okay, you need to go to gender therapy then, or they'll send you to an endocrinologist, the whole 9 yards. But going to your primary care physician is a good place to start when you really don't have no clue how to start hormones or anything like that. You just want to learn more. Your primary care physician is a good place to start. And it's not somebody you have to really be afraid of. And if therapy's just fuck out. Next, we have dating tips. Someone says, maybe dating tips. I haven't done dating before, but I was looking at either T4T or dating mostly men as a trans mask myself. I'm guessing it'd be a bit of a smoother process since I'd mostly be looking at dating gay men / other trans people. They may be more understanding or accepting than cishet people, but I don't know how to start. Where do I look online, in real life, etc. I do want to mention, and I'm not saying that this person said this whatsoever, but I've seen before that some trans people push what they truly want aside because they think one thing will be easier for them when it comes to dating. Like, I've seen trans men, and again, this is not what this person is saying, I don't think, but I've seen trans masculine people or trans men say, I'm into women, but it's so hard to date cis women as a trans man because of this and that and whatever. And I feel like, T4T would be a lot easier because they understand and whatever. And I back that 100%. I just want it to be clear that yes, dating cis women can be very hard because women can be mean. But I just want you to know that there are so many cis women out there who would love you for you. And anything you think, even if it's not about the woman herself, even if it's not about what they think of you, it's about what you think of yourself while dating a trans woman. I promise you that it's hard sometimes. It's hard, but it is so worth it. And whatever problems arise for you in that situation, you will work through. I don't want you to be so scared of dating somebody that you just don't try, because that's not what life is about. And we shouldn't have to do that. We should have the experiences everybody else has. So do not push something you really want to the side because you're afraid. I just want to let you know that whatever problems arise from that situation, you will be able to overcome by yourself or with said partner in the future. You don't have to be scared, and you don't have to choose a different gender or whatever to be interested in just because of that. But if you're asking, like this person is, if you're asking, okay, I want a T4T relationship, or I'm looking for cis men, gay men, whatever, where do I look? That is a good question. I feel like a lot of T4T relationships happen virtually, because that is a place where a lot of trans people feel comfortable being themselves. So you could start there. Dating apps are scary. You could try them. Please be careful. People are mean. I think all the trans women are hanging out on Discord. Can't lie. So if you're interested in that, join a Discord server. Join mine. Find some trans feminine baddies in my Discord if you want. All jokes aside, be careful online, even if it is Discord. And if you want to find somebody in person, obviously there's dating apps, find people near you, but maybe try and find local LGBT things in your area. Even if you live in a very red area, most of the time there is something. Just go digging for it. There is something, or everyone's holding some LGBTQ events that you can go to. Maybe just step out of your comfort zone and try to go to them. And just get yourself out there a little bit more, because there is a whole world out there and there is somebody for you. Don't give up though. Okay, I did see somebody say, how do I tell a 5-year-old? I'm trans. And somebody else is asking how to talk to their old grandmother about it. So 2 different sides of the spectrum here. How to come out to a really, really young child and a really, really old person. And everything I said about coming out in the beginning of this episode applies here. I want you to take the same mindset, especially with an old woman or an old man, a grandparent. Take the same route, because they've lived an entire life. And this person is saying that their grandma knows, but doesn't know much about what it's like to be trans or anything that really goes into it. The entire concept is totally alien to her. Yeah, so this person is just saying that they want to talk to their grandma about it and whatever before they unfortunately pass one day. And I get that. I had the same issue with my grandma. She's also like 90 something. And honestly, me and my grandma don't talk about me being trans. She is aware of it. She calls me Cody, does her best to use he, him pronouns. And at the end of the day, I remember before I came out to them, that is all I could really ask for. And I wasn't going to push it because I love my grandma. And she's like the one person in my life where like she still sometimes misgenders me and I don't say a freaking word. Anybody misgenders me in this day and age, I'm rocking their because hello. But my grandma, I'm like, I'm not going to yell at my grandma. Nobody can make me yell at my grandma. I love my grandma. But I don't know. It depends on who they are and how they think about these things. But if it really means a lot to you that like you maybe educate her and want to actually just, even if she's not getting it, even if you just want to have an open conversation, I would say just bite the bullet and just do it. Just say, hey, grandma. Yo, grandma. Yo, Graham. You could always start by just being like, do you have any questions for me? I know that, we don't talk about it a lot. I know maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation, but I'm just wondering if you have any questions because I would love to answer them for you. And usually when you approach a conversation like that, being open and like whatever, people are more likely, even if she doesn't have any questions, it might make her be like, oh, like, okay. It's not this like secret. It's not this like forbidden thing that we can't talk about. At least then you're just opening it up. So in the future, if she does have a question, she'll be like, okay, I feel comfortable enough to ask. You know what I mean? She might not ask anything right there. She might, if she's really, really ignorant to it and like doesn't want to talk about it, she might be like, no, we shouldn't talk about that. But then she might go to bed that night and think about it. And actually a question might come up and she might ask you in a week. You know what I mean? And it'll just get a conversation going, whether that happens there or not. If you want to tell her a story, anything that happened to you with a friend that involved your transis or a YouTube video you saw, or I don't know, use me. Like any content creator that's trans, like, oh, this is a funny video. Grandma, let me show you this video. This person said something really funny and they're trans like me, and just leave it at that. And maybe that'll bring up something, you know what I mean? And that's if you really are struggling with bringing it up, because I know that's the hardest part most of the time. When it comes to children, that is something I'm still trying to figure out myself. I have a 3-year-old nephew. He doesn't know I'm trans. He has no idea. But I know it's something that I'm going to have to tell him one day because I want to. And that's a very, very, very scary thought that I have. I don't know what age is a good age to let any kid know if you're trans or not. It's a very controversial topic. But, at the end of the day, whatever, dude. Like, kids are easy. Kids are very easy to just be like, oh, yeah, no, I used to be a girl. They don't know. They have no clue. They don't care either. I know that if I right now told my 3-year-old nephew, Uncle Cody used to be a girl and now he's a boy, he'd be like, oh, okay. Uncle Cody used to be a girl. And he'd just run around saying that for 5 minutes and then it'd be over. And I don't think he'd really have any questions to ask because he's so young. But 5-year-olds or just little kids in general are probably the easiest ones to come out to because they have no judgment. The world has not them up yet, and any question they have will come from a very pure place, so you don't have to be afraid. If they're not related to you, I can't tell you whether or not you should tell them, but at the end of the day, easiest ones to come out to. But I understand why they're also the scariest ones to come out to. But yeah, my advice would be like, if they have questions or whatever, just be like, yeah, I used to be a woman. I used to be a little girl. Now I'm a boy. That's just how I felt, and now I'm happy. Fist bump. That's it. That is it. They're not going to start, misgendering you because they're just going to gender you based on what they see. So I wouldn't be scared of that. If you have any more questions about that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to talk about that one more. But it seems we are running out of time today. I have been recording for almost an hour now. There's just so much advice I want to give because I feel like I've been through all of these things and I really have so much to say, but it's really hard to do when I'm on a time limit. Drop comments down below if you have any questions, any advice you want to hear me yap about. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope this episode helped at least some people. That would make me feel very happy and very good. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join my Patreon. It's free. You don't have an excuse. Check out my Discord, always in the link in in the description below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye.